We just had to put something here, right here for you. He's back from last night, the opposition chief whip, David Lee. Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. I know there's some new developments. Although Mr. Young has apologized, that was, of course, sent this morning via release and, of course, via his Facebook page. Pleasant good evening to you and welcome. Please let the viewers know what's going on.
Mikee K, since last night I spoke on your show and during the course of the day, we have taken a decision to file a privilege motion. I was the mover of it, I'm the signature of it, against Minister Young, given what he had said, and that was broadcasted in Parliament last week, Thursday. So I filed it this afternoon to the Speaker of the House for seeking her guidance. It's a 6-page document, and she has to rule on it. I hope I'm given a chance tomorrow when the SFC winds up and we come back to the House to pass the budget. And at that point in time, when the House sits back in session, that privilege motion would be raised.
What of course is the objective here? I mean, many people will be, of course, weighing in on this. How effective is this move?
Well, we are hoping that, given that based on my letter to the Speaker, we have put across a very potent and strong case, bringing Minister Young to the Privilege Committee of Parliament for them to decide whether or not he needs to be sanctioned, or what sanctions or anything that the Privilege Committee would take. Okay. So it is a 6-page document, I said, restating the facts, and one would have remembered back in 2019, Mikee K, in the last session of Parliament, when the government would have brought Dr. Munilal Urupuji, member for Urupuji East, in privilege based on some crosstalk he would have said to Minister Hines at the time. So there is a precedent that crosstalk is part of the proceedings, and even though it might be considered crosstalk, given the content of the crosstalk, and if it's volatile enough, it can be brought and to privilege to be ruled on.
Yeah, I mean, there are many people, including myself, who's weighing in on this apology that was issued by the Energy Minister. And of course, at no point in time, it of course, highlighted the people who were definitely targeted in this.
Well, that apology really didn't, I don't know who you apologized to. And you're very correct. I mean, it was a Facebook post that he did. And there was no one named in his apology. It was just a sterile, generic apology on his Facebook. And I think, so we have taken a step that we feel that something more tangible should be brought on Minister Young, and that's why I have written this 6-page document, and we are asking for the Speaker to rule, and I'll just give you the last part of it, right? In a society where, and I quote my letter, in a society where many have fallen victims to acts of violence, intimidation, and bullying, our Parliament cannot facilitate these acts of contempt as perpetrated by the member. Based on the foregoing, the member has, one, in my view, used obscene language which amount to a contempt of the House; 2, use offensive and insulting language which amount to a contempt of the House; and 3, bore the House into odium, contempt, or ridicule. In this regard, I ask, Madam Speaker, I request that the Member of Parliament for Point-a-Pierre North, St. Anne's West, be referred to the Committee of Privileges of the House for consideration and report. And that's the genesis of the letter. I mean, it's a 6-page document, as I would have said before, and I hope I'm given a chance tomorrow in Parliament to read it out.
Yeah, and of course, you know, many who are looking on have seen some of the things that have taken place with the speaker, and we don't want to change anything, of course, but we're not going to hold our breath. But this goes beyond cross talk. I mean, this is an unwarranted attack against the opposition leader. Of course, if one was to expand on some of that statement itself, you know, you're talking about this is way past gutter politics.
No, no, this is way past, as you're correct, it's way past in our view gutter politics. It's really alleging certain illegal things that are taking place with the opposition, unfounded, and casting all opposition members, throwing all opposition members, inclusive of the opposition leader, under the bus, as they say. And we feel that, you know, we cannot, as the chief whip, I cannot condone that, and I have decided to file that privilege motion on Minister Young.
All right. All the best of luck with it, because really and truly it was so offensive, and I mean, to even repeat those words that were said would be in violation of so many rules. But again, I think I speak on behalf of so many people who are saying it is a pushback against this, and to see the opposition leader taking this stance and fighting is really and truly motivational at this time and inspirational, because too many times things are done and the perception is people get away with it. But this was downright vile and nasty, and you know, really and truly something has to be done.
And there comes a time where you have to stand up and say enough is enough, Mikee K, and I think the opposition has reached that state. We have been totally, you know, constantly, as you know, the opposition leader has been constantly bullied throughout, at least during my time that I have served with her and the opposition. I have seen it firsthand, I've witnessed it firsthand, and this was going a bit far by Minister Young. So we are saying enough is enough at this point in time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, and
It's always a pleasure, Mikee
K. to
K.
see what unfolds tomorrow. Thank you so much again for
Thank
listening
you.
with us.
Thank you.